radish, and we're going to use forgotten vegetables. Only the stem, only what people throw away. Nos afectan de manera global y que podemos solucionar de manera local. In terms of food, and I want to share this with all mommies, and I can tell you because I've been cooking here for years for mothers from all over the world, from over 60 countries in the world with their children, and I've seen a pattern there. Mommy is trying to do her best. She's trying to prepare something for the kids, but the kids at some point react wrongly, and then mommy gives up, and then the kid takes over, and then the kid becomes the chef of the house, and he say, no, I don't want that. I want that, but no greens, please. No herbs, nothing with color. And then mommy, she wants the kid to eat. So then she said, okay, I'm going to prepare what he wants. And that's a mistake because the kid will always choose between a very small catalog of products and recipes. When we change the approach on how the food is presented to the kid, it completely changed the behavior of the kids. When we took them to the orchard and we taught them about picking it up and the crunchiness of picking something out of the air and the roots kind of cracking there, just that is a full experience. Our hands have 20,000 receptors. So our hands are so important. And sometimes we're like, don't touch that, you're gonna get your hands dirty. You're totally blocking the kid to connect with the earth, to connect with the soil, and to understand all the information that those hands and 20,000 receptors are gathering from all these elements from nature. You're talking about textures of plants, and then they start relating it with flavors, and then maybe they hit some chili pepper, so they're gonna say, whoa, this is different. And then they get to the oregano leaf, and they're like, When the kid found it fun that you put some basil, it changed the dynamic, and then the kid is going to say, I like basil, mommy. I put some basil, and then you just open a door and they will open 10 doors for you. All that interaction between the smell, the touch, the birds, the flavors, the textures and all that is like a deep moment where you don't only connect with the food, but you connect with yourself, with your inner being, because food is a very intimate act. Food means to place something in your mouth, in your body, literally. So might as well not take it for granted. Don't let the picky eaters rule the world, because that is really killing our planet. The people who don't approach food as a spiritual, as a political act even, it's just a matter of filling our bodies with something to eat, is a totally different approach that understanding the medicine that comes from the food, the origin, the cultural context, the biological context. So all this information around the food is what we need to work with our families. It can be a full experience of biodiversity, of discovering new textures, crunchiness. Kids love crunchy stuff, even to build their own plate sometimes. You create the elements, and then you make you compose a plate, and then you tell your kid, okay, do your plating, put some sauce or some vinaigrette on that, or some citrus, or even salt. So you start approaching the kid with the everyday labor of the kitchen. At home, what I practice is to provide my kids with a set of tools. They will be useful for the rest of their lives, and that's how we interpreted nature, how we connect, and how we help the kids to establish a relationship with the food they're eating, all the organic waste we put into the basket. What happened with that, and how that cycle is the full understanding of the food relationship we must have. But if we're lacking of one of the parts of this circle, we're going to miss something. We totally changed the landscape of our house. We got rid of the green grass, the miniature monoculture that doesn't provide any food for you, and it actually costs you a lot of money to maintain and water. So we switched that for an edible forest. And we've been doing this for years in our agriculture and in our work, but I haven't transformed my family yet. So the COVID was an opportunity for me to realize that if I was preaching and I was trying to promote transformation and this new approach on food, but I haven't done it in my own home, this is not good. So I started changing these surroundings, and then that changed the dynamic of the family completely. One year after, we're eating more and more from the garden. We are eating eggs from our hens. We're having fresh fish from the local. Sometimes we go gather some crab. So we are a family that are connected with nature. The other day, with my kids, we participate making, like this green juice and all these. We pick things from the garden, and they saw the first time he was using the machine, the juicer, and he was so happy that the next day he picked some guayabas and some things, and he came to my room and gave me his own juice that he prepared for me, my 7-year-old. Of course, he had found some chili peppers, and he didn't know, and he put them in, and he gave it to me with love, and I had a sip, and I almost you cannot imagine how spicy, but he did it with love, so I could not get mad. I was happy that he's interacting with the garden. Everyone can, no matter where you live, if you live in an apartment, there's a window, I'm sure, you can grow food in that window. No matter where you are in the world, you can do sprouts, you can be part of the food system at your own house. Avoid packaging, avoid plastic bottles. Those are the mistakes we're talking about today. Those are the mistakes that we can correct as humans. Before asking the politicians to do this or to do that, why don't you, at your home, change the way you shop your food, the way you manage your waste and do the recycling, the way you cultivate part of your food, at least. See, why don't we try that one? And then you will see that there's a great bridge to connect with nature and all the values and the nutrition, and also it's so much fun. You take your hand out, you grab a papaya, next morning you're having a toast, and then you have this papaya marmalade from your own garden. You are like, the bread is homemade, so you are like, this is good for me, right? Most big cities in the world are surrounded by countryside at some point, right? And that on that countryside around the cities, usually you have farming in different scales, and that's where the food comes from. And then it's more practical for you. You go to the supermarket and then you buy the groceries, which is fine. It's also good to go to a good supermarket with organic products and all, or to the farmers market in your neighborhood. It's good, but it's definitely reconforting to have at least a part of your food grown by you, even the aromatic herbs. One plant, like just follow the cycle of life of one plant, and it would be a great dynamic for the family. For the people who live in the cities, in Ecuador, for example, what I suggest is like go out and talk to the people in the countryside. There are people living there, they have land, but sometimes they lack of resources. So what if you get one or two neighbors and say, okay, let's rent 1 acre, let's rent 1 acre outside of the city between my group of friends, and let's have our own food from there. And we organize and we each maintain, and then so you go there, you talk to someone who is in need, who can take care of the plants, and then you pay. When you rent an acre, it's not going to be a fortune. Compare that what you can spend 10 times more in the supermarket of what it costs you to harvest your own food. 10 times more. I've measured that in Ecuador. So the banana is 10 times more expensive than buying or cutting the whole banana, the whole fruit. See? So why would I like to pay 10 times more? All the carbon print that you leave behind on that banana ice cream you're going to prepare is nuts. So we must be aware that our actions have consequences, and then we organize. If we are able to rent an acre, and we can even plant 50 or 60 or even 100 types of vegetables and fruits, short cycle, annual, and also perennial plants that can last and give you fruit for years, for 20 years. There are a lot of plants that you can grow at home. The drought resistant are very interesting, like aloe vera, because you can really heal yourself, and you can do even. I do aloe vera chicharrones. Ceviche. I do aloe vera ceviche. I create drinks with the aloe vera, where this type of drinks that you're drinking something really nice, but you're also coming into little pieces, coming across little pieces of aloe vera that are very nice, and so just with that, I can tell you can do so many things. But then it depends on where you live. You can always have a tomato there. You can always have aromatic herbs, verbena. You can have the healing plants like lemongrass. Even parsley is really good. Parsley you can have a lot, because you can do green juices with parsley that will detox the liver in a great way. And then also what I consider important in this answer is that we take into the equation the presence of weed, because some people have them around their homes. Even in the sidewalks of the cities, you see the dandelion. Those are the most nutritious plant you can ever have. Even there's another type of weed here that is called verdolaga. It's a type of succulent. This is the plant that has the highest content of omega-3 of all plant species on Earth. Yet humans, they dress themselves with a chemical backpack. They pump chemicals on it, getting rid of the plant that has the highest amount of omega-3 on Earth. To choose a green lettuce wrapped in 250 layers of plastic, full of water, that has no nutritional values, that has carbon print, and you put chemicals on the plant that has the highest amount of omega-3. Omega-3 is the fat that our brain needs to function. The favorite food for the brain. Humans should be focused on physiology, on what things work well, on being well, on eating well, on maintaining wellness, not on focusing on pathology and illness. So it's a change of mentality where food is a part of this chain of honor. Like the pumpkin is medicine for the heart. 14 different medicine in the pharmacy come from aloe vera. We create a natural cough syrup with garlic, with ginger, with onion, with honey, with fresh herbs, and then we give that to the kids to prevent colds. We can definitely keep eating some meat once every 15 days, probably, even once a week. Once a week is already a great deal for nature. But if you're consuming meat as your main source of protein at home, then you're creating a bad balance in your own health, in your own body, and in the environment. All the agriculture moves for 20 crops. 20 crops. And most of those crops come to soy and corn for cattle. 1/3 of the world is already a desert by now. We don't realize that. The decisions we make without being an extremist definitely affect the environment. I wouldn't go against anything. I would go in favor of biodiversity. Make your food biodiverse. A food forest solves nutritional problems. It also provides shade. It also captures carbon underneath the ground. It also provides you with food, medicine, shelter, company, art, beauty, right? And economy, because from those trees you can also nourish the community. So the problems in the world, I just mentioned them all: malnutrition, deforestation, the erosion of the soil, see, the lack of biodiversity. So we're putting all those mistakes as humans. We're rebuilding our lives and rebuilding the planet with food. Food is the bridge that unites the family. Where do we eat? In the table. Where we spend more time as a family? In the table. That comes for a reason, right? So let's put importance into that moment. Let's put the phones into a basket. No one is going to use the phone. Everyone puts the phone into the basket while we eat. And you will see how the conversations in the family start exploding. You kind of temple this moment and make it a ceremonial moment in your life. And that approach, that profoundness that you bring into the food approach is going to inspire your children for more. And that's what parents, that's our main project, that's our main job. I know we're all professionals, we all have dreams, but our main job, our main goal in life is to make those little ones great humans in the future. The United Nations are telling us that we have 60 harvests left. Do you want to hear that? Do you want to stay with your arms crossed? No. We're going to stop this. We're going to try to restore ecosystems. We will create more food. There's no 60 harvests. There are many more to come. We will take actions. That is the approach. That's the humans we need to prepare. And all that comes from mistake. And we already made mistakes as humans. Let's not be part of those mistakes. Let's be part of the solutions. And remember that the transformation starts in you, in your heart, in your soul, and then in your family, your home, your company. And thank you for the invitation, and thank you for reminding us that mistakes are important and should be recognized as part of success as well. So just to give hope to all mommies, change the approach on food with your children, and you will see that you will accomplish all the goals, especially one, bring biodiversity to your home, to your fridge, and then you will be supporting greatly the main needs that the world is facing. Thank you.